What do you believe today that you didn't believe before?
Is learning that NASA was a psyop, that evolution may be wrong, and we could be living on an enclosed system, a stationary plane. The Luciferians run the planet. There's no doubt in my mind. And these people are sick. They eat children. They hate human beings. They try to torture and kill the most innocent from God, which are children. They got to be brought down. You can never let them get away with this. You have to fight till your last breath. They're not slowing down to spiritual war. We better all wake up really fast.
Welcome to the Mel Carmine podcast. Before we begin, I have something you need to see. 11 years ago in Costa Rica, I took a photograph that changed my life forever. I don't claim to speak to God, but I do believe he gave me a mission. Let me show you the photo, then you decide. If you're serious about protecting and growing your wealth, pay close attention. Looking to acquire XRP, I can help. Minimum purchase is $10,000 and there is no maximum. Whether you're investing $10,000 or $10 million, text me directly at 786-704-8817. And while you're at it, ask us how a religious irrevocable trust can get you off the grid and fully protect your assets and investments. Interested in gold and silver? For extremely competitive prices, visit carminesgold.com. Our minimum order is $50,000 and there is no maximum. We can handle virtually any size transaction. Then visit QFS1776.com for exclusive merchandise, links to our social media, and a library of 100% free videos explaining the new financial system millions are following. No hype, no paywall, just information. Don't miss our 5-star documentary everyone is talking about. Dear Mr. President, show me the money. Visit dearmrpresident.net and ask yourself, what if we show you irrefutable, irrevocable evidence in our movie that everyone with a social security number is worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Do we have your attention? The link is in the description below. Finally, join our official Telegram groups and be aware of fake Mel Carmine accounts. If anyone tells you that you must register your XRP with the so-called quantum financial system, it's a scam. Now subscribe and share this episode with someone you care about. Turn up the heat on these scammers and let's get to work. Also, scan the QR code and opt in so you don't miss any amazing workshops at Staying Alive in Cape Canaveral. Now, here's your host, Mel Carmine. Well, guys, I don't think that this guest needs an introduction. Everybody in the world knows who he is at this point. He's blowing up. Like he's figured out the sweet spot on YouTube, on Rumble, how to stay under the radar. Maybe they like Mexicans, they don't like Italians. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, except he's allowed to grow. Some people are allowed to grow. And if you're from Brooklyn, you might get fucked. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, here we are, brother. I'm watching your shows. I watched the one where you said that people won't show up on your podcast if you don't send them the fucking questions. I said, well, that's the case. I won't send them the questions. That's ridiculous.
No, some guests, like most guests that I feel are not hiding anything, they'll come on board, right? They'll jump on and we'll do an honest podcast, whatever. But the ones that ask me for the questions beforehand and want to be, want to be trained at what I'm asking them, or it's all powder puff stuff, and I have to softball them the questions. I turn those guys down, or I make it to the point where they just don't even come on my podcast. I'll be like, are you kidding me? I'll send them a text back like, this is a joke, right? But they there's a lot of people like that, and really I almost feel like putting their names out there because they're frauds.
Yeah.
And anybody who's scared to be questioned or don't want to have a straight answer, dude, to me, it says everything about them. It says everything about them. Like I have nothing to hide. People know who I am. Yeah. I bared my soul on podcasts before. I was just on Soft White Underbelly. I mean, dude, it's like, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to be ashamed of, then, just be, the authenticity is like, nobody has that anymore. And 100%. I'm tired of it. People are trying to hide or be somebody for somebody, try to be somebody or something they're not. I'm just tired of it, dude. And they're trying to pull one over on the people. And honestly, I'm glad they don't come on my podcast.
Yeah, 100%. Brother, I got to ask you the question. Are you still holding XRP?
Yeah, I got extra. Of course I do.
Awesome. Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
you've had a lot of very interesting guests over the years on your show. How have they shaped who Nino Rodriguez is today? Are you a flat earther? Do you think that there's land on the other side of the ice wall? Do you think there's another civilization? You think they have technologies we don't have? Has that had an influence on you in any way?
I think for the most part, nobody really knows, but we know we've all been lied to.
Right.
No doubt. We know that, right? And we know that this world is been controlled by a Luciferian agenda. We know that. I know that. I also now, I kind of left the Bible and come right back to it throughout all these years. And I look at everything like this. I've been looking into pre 1900s Bibles, literature of that nature to find truth because I feel like the knowledge has been lost. I feel like if you could find anything in the 1700s, 1800s, I feel like I felt like they knew a lot more than we know today. I think everything's been hidden from us. I know giants walked the earth. People have been excavating sites in the 1800s and putting them in the paper that they've been finding 8-foot, 12-foot giants. These beings exist, which guess what? Throws a monkey wrench in evolution. So to me, I believe we live in a enclosed system. I believe we live on a stationary plane as far as I can tell. I don't know the shape of the earth. I believe in outer space. I look at outer space. I can see planets, whatever. But I think NASA's been lying to us. I think the CGI, most of it's CGI, and we did not go to the moon by any stretch. I think they're trying to figure out how to get out of this enclosed system. When you talk to Luciferians or people that have been around these type of people, they say what they're trying to do is break through the firmament to go to war with God. Like, this is real, man. Like to me, crazy. Yeah, to me, this is like what it all boils down to. It's a spiritual war.
Yeah.
I believe the Nephilim walk the earth. I believe there's laggard souls, demonic entities all over the place. And this is the true test of humanity. And we've been lied to. I think we've had many resets throughout history, and every time we have a reset, we get amnesia, and we have to relearn everything again, and then that's when they just lie to you. They just
totally
continue.
Hey,
okay.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Are you going to the Storm Summit? Are you going to be the MC there again?
I'm not going to be the MC, but I'm going to go. So I'll go shake hands and then just say what's up to people and probably get in and out of there.
Okay.
But I mean, it looks like there's a lot of big names. I see Roseanne, Tina Peters.
Yeah.
Mark Cook. I see
Tina Peters.
James O'Keefe.
We got big names. Santilli.
Yeah.
Sheriff Mack.
Bolsonaro. Sheriff Mack. Wayne Allen Root. Stephen K. Bannon. Yeah, I didn't, I said no to one, so that's why I'm not on the
right.
But that gives me, I like it better like that because I like to gamble, and I want to be able to just bounce in and out. I've already, I did the first one. I was the host for the first one, and that was cool.
Yeah.
This one, I just want to bounce in and out and come as I please, come and go as I please, go backstage. I like to just be kind of free. Right, I don't like to be held to anything.
Right. Well, Trentus Evans is going to be there on stage with me and Louis Herms and a couple other people. That's going to be a pretty cool panel.
Yeah, all those dudes are cool, man. I love everybody that's going to be there. Absolutely.
So let's talk about your boxing career. If you had succeeded in your boxing career, would you be like the Mike Tyson story minus the bankruptcy? Where do you think you would be if you had been like a knockout king?
Well, I was a knockout king. I did succeed. Yeah. So I don't know what you mean. I mean,
like if you would have continued and there was no drugs, no alcohol, no bullshit in the way,
I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I know that. It'd be a completely different story. And I don't know what that would have been. Maybe I would have crashed and burned and died anyway. I mean, I was on a collision course, to be honest with you. It was not pretty. It was a lot of stress, a lot of tension, a lot of adversity, a lot of anxiety. I started hating everybody and everything around me. I was sick of boxing by the time I was about 28 to 30. I was already sick of it. I was, I felt like I had slave drivers, not managers, not promoters. It was like slave drivers. I didn't trust anybody around me. That was probably the big thing, to come up and be 10-0. 15-0, 20-0, 25-0, 30-0, 35, 36-0. That's a huge accomplishment, man. I don't know anybody else really, honestly, in the division that could do. Not many people have done what I've done in boxing already. And I have the most first-round knockouts than anybody in history. 34 big knockouts out of 36 fights says a lot. And to be honest with you, I know I accomplished a lot in boxing, but my destiny wasn't to be heavyweight champ of the world, although I won every single belt up to it. I don't know. I came back. I got knifed in the throat, right? I died with an overdose twice. That just shows you where my head was at. Overdose on drugs, still drinking alcohol, got knifed in the throat. Just talk about turbulence, just complete chaos. And then I come back for 2 fights. I lose those two both. So my unblemished record gets blemished. And then I win my last and final fight and throw out my back where I need emergency back surgery. So if I never would have threw out my back, believe me when I tell you this, I would have never stopped boxing. And I'd probably be a punch drunk idiot right now if I would have never stopped, because I just wouldn't have known when to quit, and I would have never taken no for an answer. But when you throw out your back, you get old overnight, dude. Like, you're done. Like, it's it, bro. I didn't know that. I thought, well, I've had broken hands, I've had hurt knees, other injuries, I've gotten over those. No, when you throw out when your back is done, like an L4, L5, S1 fusion, dude, it's maybe you can play golf like Tiger Woods, when he's not even really doing anything now. But to box and have that mobility and agility, you cannot be the same fighter.
Sure.
And that was it. Like, I have a cage in my spine. It's over, dude. It's just game over. So to say that I wasn't a success in boxing, well, yeah, if you look at like being the heavyweight champion as the success, okay, I missed the mark. But everything else, there was nobody with better hand speed than me. I was a dangerous puncher, probably the best puncher out there in my era.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Best left hook, best right hand. I mean, nobody can handle my power. Nobody. And that I'll go to the grave with. And I know that I was.
Were you in your prime in boxing when Mike Tyson was coming up? I would have loved to see you.
He was. Well, I'm the one that got Mike Tyson back in the ring.
Interesting.
So when I was training, he came to watch me, and he hadn't stepped foot in a ring in 7 years. When he was watching me, he got excited, jumped in the ring with me. We started training together, working out together, and he got real excited, man. And that's the kind of power and talent that I had, man. Like, I could just light up a room, dude. And so now it's just transferred over to podcasting, I guess. But I look back on my career, and although I could stare at my belts here. I got one here, I mean, I could look at belts, but I also see a life of turmoil, chaos, unhappiness. I was never happy boxing. It was never.
People saw you as dollar signs.
It's not just that. It was the expectations, man, that I had myself and other people put on me. Maybe I just wasn't strong enough mentally. I don't know. It was too much. I had a lot more than other fighters. A lot of fighters were poor, broke. They were hungry. I was never hungry. I just had a lot of issues, and bullying issues as a kid, a lot of insecurities. That's what was my fuel for boxing. But a lot of guys, when they're in the ring, they have hunger issue. Like, they got to pay rent. They got to, they can't eat. I was a little bit of a different animal, man. So that's what I think it was.
Right. If you could go back and be either a successful, you have both choices, either a successful podcaster or a successful boxer, which one would you choose?
That's a really hard question at this point in my life, dude.
Really?
Yeah, because 10 years ago, I would have said boxer. 5 years ago, I maybe would have said boxer. Now, I would say podcaster, because, I am affecting so many more lives, doing what I'm doing now. I was not doing that in boxing. It was just glorification. It was ego. I'm a completely different spirit now, dude. Like, we're just a different person altogether. Like, I do not look at the world the same way I did back then when I was boxing, because when I was boxing, it was all about me.
Right.
And now this is all about the movement. It's all about my passion towards truth. It's about politics. You have to have a brain to do this shit. You have to have a great mind to fight too. Don't let that kid you. But
absolutely.
But this is touching a lot more lives and reaching a lot more people. Nobody gives a shit what any boxer has to say about anything. Nobody fucking cares, dude. I mean, honestly, let's just be real. Unless they're talking about with other degenerates or other lowlifes about drugs or women or just shit, that low vibrational stuff, sure, people may listen to, but when you're on a level like what I'm doing with like deep state politics, the deep state war, everything that's going on, commentating on the political, I don't know one boxer, to be honest with you, that's transferred from boxing to the political realm. I don't know of any. I don't know of one. I know that or political commentary. I know boxers that have transferred or pivoted into boxing commentary, or they're commentating on fights, but never one that has moved from boxing and into a completely different arena, such as politics, political commentary. I've never seen that. So I would say I'm the first.
Right. What did podcasting teach you that boxing could never?
Dude, boxing taught me how to be a good podcaster. That's really how I would phrase that, because dealing with the grit and dedication of waking up every morning and running miles, running sprints, training all day, 24/7, had taught me the discipline to do something like podcasting, which is like a cakewalk.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm one of the hardest working podcasters out there. I'm doing 5, sometimes 5, 6 shows a day, minimum 3, doing my reaction videos. I'm doing research. I'm studying films. I'm constantly thinking of new ways to get ahead. I mean, dude, I mean, it's easy to me podcasting because boxing was so brutal. It was so hard. It was so grueling. There's nothing harder than that. There's just nothing harder than that. Like, you know, the training camps itself were just, the fights were the easy part. The training camps were the hard part. So really boxing prepared me for this. And this, to me, there's sketchy people in both. Like, you have sketchy people in boxing. That industry has horrible people, bro. Like the worst you'll ever meet: mafia, cartels, sleaze bags. I mean, everyone that's just a shitbag gravitates to boxing. So if you have a good heart in boxing, it's going to get hardened. You stay in there long enough. But podcasting, dude, there's a lot of shitbags in this too, man.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. I
Sure,
go there, dude.
You've seen your part in that, right? You've seen your take. You got your take on that. So no doubt about it, dude. There's some real, people that poach guests, people that, want to find out. Dude, everyone's competing with each other at the end of the day. It's just, it's Hollywood, dude. It's just another brand.
5 years ago, when you said to your audience that you're going to have Mel Carmine, you got one of the most amazing backlashes. I'm one of the most controversial guys out there, for sure. But let's keep asking, because it's not about me. This is about you. If you had never stumbled upon podcasting, who would Nino Rodriguez be today?
Well, let's change that. Podcasting came after I quit drinking. So if I would have never quit drinking, I'd be dead. I'd be dead. Wow. And that's just it. That's just the truth. I'd be dead or in prison.
Yeah.
So, okay, those really were my two options. Dead or in jail. I mean, yeah, that would have been it. That would have been, I think I would have had a heart attack, or I would have taken some pills and probably died.
Interesting. Well, let's thank God that you're still here, brother. How did you meet 107, and when did he come into the picture as you started your journey into podcasting?
Man, I don't know when I met Juan. I want to say 2021, maybe 20. No, it would had to have been before. Geez, it was probably in the time frame of 21, 22, I guess, because I introduced Juan to Jim and Jim Caviezel. They hit it off, and I knew Juan about a year or so before that. So I don't remember who introduced me to Juan, but I'll tell you what, Juan has really taken me under his wing in the beginning, and even still to this day, I enjoy listening to his knowledge. And the guy knows a lot, man. I mean, you can't deny the fact that I'll say this though. I'm glad I stuck with him, because I can't believe the hits I took having that guy on my podcast. I mean, dude, it was brutal. Like,
I still get that.
People are like so against this guy. Oh, it's Wayne Willett. They go after him. Like, dude, I'm not going to. This guy has gained his own credibility. You can say what you want about him, but he's been over the target too many times, and you can tell the man is intelligent and very educated on what the hell's going on right now. So I like to hear from people like that. Now, I also bring other people into the mix so people can have a more well-rounded opinion, formulate a better opinion on what the hell's going on, right? Because I don't have the answers. I'm not a guru. I just know that I have a passion for learning, and I want to get to the bottom of stuff, and I'm not going to leave any stone unturned, right? I want to check out everything. I want to make sure that, we ask all the right questions.
Who do you think he is? I mean, like, he travels.
I know who
Donald Trump by a factor of at least twice, right?
Look, he's read in. I'll just say this. I'll say what I can.
Yeah.
He's read in. Not many people are read in. He's read in. He knows exactly what's going on behind. If people can laugh at this if they want or not, I don't care. He knows everything there is to know about the Q operation. He knows Trump is a military operation. He understands the game being played right now. If you just look at it from the outside looking in, you never catch him in one place longer than 2 or 3 days. He's on a jet setting to Korea. He's jet setting to Thailand. He's jet setting to Japan. He's jet setting to Antarctica. I mean, this is crazy, the life he lives. Who's funding that? That's a lot of money.
That's true.
To be spending on going on vacations. What do you want to call that? I mean, I know what he's doing. I mean, I talked to him privately. I know what he's doing, but I would never betray someone's trust, and he's working hard to save our country is the best way I could put it,
Yeah, I believe that. What completely changed the way you look at the world today? If you had 3 or 4 guests that was on your show, I'm sure 107 is probably one of them that changed your views completely on several things. Which are those 3 or 4 guests?
Dude, Juan is definitely one of them. No doubt the Ghost is another one. And then it's just been a multitude of different guests. Jim Caviezel has changed my outlook on a lot of things. There's been so many, man. And I'll be honest with you, like the one thing that's changed from me today, from 6 years, almost 7 years now. Let's just we're almost almost 7 years ago to today. Is I never was too sure. I knew that I was a religious guy, or I would say I was a spiritual guy. I believed in God. I believed Jesus existed. I believed in Jesus. I was more, it was more superstition, Now I've been baptized. I believe we're in a spiritual war. I see the demonic side clear as day. Clear as day. And I know there's a fight for our souls, man. And I know there's a fight for humanity. And who this entity or these people that are controlled by these higher intelligences or nefarious spirits or entities, whatever they are, they want to kill humans. They want us gone. They hate us. And that's true.
Yeah.
That I know.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, we better all wake up really fast because they're not slowing down. Look what happened with COVID. I mean, dude, if it wasn't for Trump, Operation Warp Speed, and I'm sorry, folks, if you don't know what Operation Warp Speed was about, you're way behind the ball.
Yeah.
To understand what the plan was, what they were trying to do, keep us in lockdowns, take the elections, that was all part of their agenda, and Trump, by pushing us back into work, getting the economy kicked off again, pushing the vaccine forward, it was probably the lesser of the evils that he had to choose, but all of that happened, had to jumpstart America back into work and do everything. It made them fumble the ball. And look who's on trial. Look who's being questioned by Congress right now. It's Fauci. Everything's playing out. The court of public opinion, all of it is playing out the way it should. So, I mean, to me, the spiritual war. I've realized more now than ever. We are in a spiritual war, man. This is for all the marbles, dude.
And the Muslims want to take us out, and there's George Soros and Bill Gates and Monsanto's, and we can go on. After hearing so many extreme theories that you've done so many shows, what do you believe today that you didn't believe before?
The craziest, man. Like I always knew the moon landing was fake, but the craziest is learning that NASA was a psyop, that evolution may be wrong. There's multiple theories, by the way. And we could be living on an enclosed system, a stationary plane, and people may be rolling their eyes. Well, you just haven't looked into it enough. Because honestly, I think there's a lot there. And the Luciferians run the planet. There's no doubt in my mind. And these people are sick. They eat children. They hate human beings. They try to torture and kill the most innocent from God, which are children. These people are sick, and they need to be brought down, bro. And that's why I dedicate my life to this. They got to be brought down. Like you cannot allow. Once you know this, you can never let them get away with this. You have to fight till your last breath. You cannot let them win this. It's impossible. Like when you start learning that our politicians at the highest levels are involved in this shit, there's no way they can be there anymore. They cannot. And people need to wake up to this. 100%. Like you don't do that. You don't hurt children, animals, or the other. You don't hurt people, but
absolutely
the three in my categories are children, elderly, and animals. Like you don't. That's just, you don't mess with that.
Yeah.
And these people have no soul, or they've
Censorship
lost
still
it.
exists. Let's talk a little bit about censorship, because I know you've blown up. You've figured out a way to stay under the radar. You're beating them at their own game, which is brilliant. You're like Muhammad Ali with freaking YouTube, but how big would Nino Rodriguez be if there was no censorship? Zero.
We'd all be big. We'd all be big. Every single one of us would be way bigger. Millions of followers bigger, man. Like I think I'd at least be at cracking at 5-10 million right now.
Easily.
So every single one of us that's in the movement would be.
Yeah.
But that, you realize, then the game would be over.
Yeah, but the money that they pay you are scraps. You understand that, right?
I know. I totally get that. I trust me. If anyone knows, it's me.
Yeah.
But what can I do about it? There's not much I can do about it.
Nothing.
I can just stay relevant.
Oh, yeah. What's the biggest thing that you have learned about censorship that most people still don't understand?
They want to control the narrative. That's the whole thing. They don't want people waking up to the reality, to the true reality.
So the more truth you speak, the more they hold you down. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's certain things they throttle back, right? They don't want certain information getting out there that will shine a light on what they're doing or who they are, or the truths that need to be kept secret, kept hidden. I mean, look at secret societies that, they run the world because they keep things in secret. They have certain knowledge they don't release to the public. So if you don't know how a magic trick works, you're always going to think it's just magic. But once you learn how the magic trick works, it's the man behind the curtain, dude. It's a Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Once you see the little guy behind the curtain, nothing works anymore. They can't do anything anymore. Nothing will work. Once you know the reality, how the sausage is made, dude, it loses its magic. It's over.
Exactly.
It's just over.
Yeah.
If we knew how the pyramids were built, if we knew who really about Atlantis, if we knew about the true history of humanity, none of this shit would even, we'd all be like, oh, so we can live to 1,000 years old. Oh, we are eternal souls. There'd be nothing to fight over.
What if I told you that the next summit I have at the Staying Alive Wellness Center in Cape Canaveral, I have a team of scientists in Japan that literally landed on my table. I don't know why the Lord keeps landing the stuff on he knows I got balls, bro. My balls are bigger than King Kong. Okay. I will tell you that we have technology right now. Mel Carmine is going to bring it through Staying Alive in Cape Canaveral, either end of October, middle of November. It's coming. I have it. 350-year lifespans.
It would never surprise me, bro. I'm not
right now.
No way. I agree.
Let me show you a picture if I can. I know you want to you're pressed for time, but this is important. This is the CEO's now. This is the CEO's. Let me see if I got to be able to find it. This is the CEO's mother-in-law, and then there's an injury also. Someone's arm got really wrecked. That's actually pretty gross. But check this out. Here we go. I found it. Oh my God, this is gonna blow your mind. Let me share my screen with you. This is now. I want you to take a look at her face very carefully, Nino. All right. Do you see my picture? Do you see the picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
This 7 weeks later is the same lady.
Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, she looks a lot more rejuvenated.
Yeah. This is her. This is her now. This is the injury. This is a little gross. Okay. This is 5 days.
What was that?
I'm not sure if it was a motorcycle wreck, whatever, but this is somebody that's related to the CEO as well. And they put this product on him, and boom, 5 days later.
5 days.
5 days.
It's a product, like a cream or an injection.
I'm not allowed to talk. I'll tell you off camera what it is, but I got it. I'm under non-disclosure, so I got to keep my mouth shut on this one. But it's going to land in Cape Canaveral. As a matter of fact, I got some stuff too that filters out the blood that I think might be good for your mom and dad. And
I'll try anything at this point, dude.
I know you will.
I'll try anything. It's just about, when people tell me, can you take them here? Can you take them there? No, they're not mobile.
No, but I'll put you in touch with somebody in Phoenix, Arizona that's got a filtration product. And I don't make money on this stuff. Some things I give away. Okay. It's not all about money. Let's continue with the questions. What would you advise somebody new that's starting out in podcasting? If you had to give them a couple of, tidbits, what would you tell them to do?
Authenticity, man. Be yourself.
Got to be yourself.
Don't worry about anything else. And then have you ever seen that movie, Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Well,
that's it.
Mel Carmine is not an actor.
I'm just saying, if you build it, they will go. Where you put, where focus goes, energy flows, man. And so when you start, and people and energy, other energies attracted to energy. So movement. Mm-hmm. So when you see something, you want to do something, you just put energy towards that and start building it, and then don't put blockades up. Like, you have to allow other, you got to be able to pivot and adapt and move on. Right. And just keep changing and evolving. You can't just stay, you always got to keep evolving, dude. You cannot stay stagnant. Stagnant is death. You got to keep evolving, keep changing things, even if it's small things every day. You got to keep changing the energy. But putting a pen to paper and saying, okay, how am I going to be a great podcaster? That's just, I know people, dude, that try to build studios and they don't even have an audience. I'm like, what are you putting money into if you don't have an audience? You got to have an audience first.
It's so funny you say that. But there are people out there, without mentioning the names, and they're trying. I got to give these people a lot of credit for trying. I want everybody to get a microphone. I want us to be like cockroaches.
You're gonna have more success just opening your phone up, and that's a video that went viral for me. I was just opening up my phone and talking into it on my porch. There was no studio, there was nothing. But you know what people saw? They saw real. They saw authenticity. They didn't see some dude trying to do something or trying to be something. That shit doesn't work anymore, bro. That's why Hollywood's dying. Because they can't grasp, they can't understand that nobody gives a fuck about celebrities anymore, dude. The last celebrity, in my opinion, was Michael Jackson. That was it. And then who cares after that? Do you give a shit if you see celebrity? Nobody goes up to celebrity. If you do, that's your thing. But I mean, for the most part, nobody cares.
I just made a video that YouTube says, no, you can't go past 500 views because I exposed the food industry. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't like that. I mean,
No.
and McDonald's, and they're talking about the cows, and there's not enough cows, and they have contracts with the fucking hospitals.
Yeah, they all hold hands together, dude. They make you
Hello,
sick. The circle, the vicious circle,
it's.
the cycle. Yeah.
I mean, like really,
Once you go to the
hospitals.
hospital, you take their medicine, you go back to McDonald's, you go to the hospital. They just keep you in perpetual sickness and perpetual pharma.
Yeah,
100%, I agree with that.
yeah. So why are these people like Bill Gates, George Soros, Monsanto's, the people spraying us with chemtrails, all funded by the Obamas and the Soros? Why are these people still allowed to walk the face of the earth?
That's
What's
a good
going
question,
on?
man, because I think you got to understand Trump can only do so much. He is the commander in chief. He controls our military. That's just one arm of the globalists. Globalists are worldwide. Trump only has strength and position here in America. And that's just the way it is, dude. Like there's very powerful people that own money and can do whatever they want to do to any of us, really. And so Bill Gates and people like that, I would believe that they've probably been wrangled in and interrogated to a degree. I think, when you saw him sitting down with Trump, it looked to me like they didn't want to really be there. And Zuckerberg was just kind of like, man, they looked like they were reined in, if you ask me.
Uncomfortable.
And very uncomfortable. And I think they're playing ball to a degree, but they're also thinking of ways how to kill this motherfucker and how to or kick the can down the road. And Trump knows he's dealing with vipers. Trump knows he's dealing with demons. He knows it.
Yeah.
He's in the viper, and 99% of the people around him are scumbags, dude.
Yeah.
99 of people around me, you, everybody, this whole planet, the way I see it now, are demonic. It's demonic. It's demons.
Brother, there's so much backstabbing in the patriot community. I know for a fact because people talk and little birdies come and they tell you shit, right?
I don't even give a shit. I'm just concerned about. I'm just concerned about
you're gonna
what
have
I'm
that
doing.
guy on your show. Are you crazy? He's like, he's like the Alex Jones of the cryptocurrency. He's completely nuts. I wish I can become half as big as Alex Jones. I'd be tickled pink.
Yeah, but you'd also become a target.
Yeah, true. What question you wish someone had the balls to ask you but doesn't?
Dude, I'm open for anything. I feel like everyone's asked me.
Is there one question that they say, why don't they ask me this question?
Really, I feel like I've been asked everything. I don't
Really?
know. I answer everything, so I don't really give a shit. Like to me, no, I don't think about that. I mean, I just kind of fire off.
Right.
I'm not intimidated of any. There's not a question I think about like, wow, I wish someone would answer me that. No, I'm fair game, dude. Like I'm confident, dude. Like I said, man, I was able to get in the ring and fight. Like this shit is easy. Like questions don't ask away, man. I don't care. I mean, if I don't want to answer it, I won't, but I probably will anyway. It's just, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Like I will answer anything.
If you could travel 10 years into the future, what would Nino Rodriguez ask Nino Rodriguez?
And to myself 10 years from now?
10 years from now, into the future.
Are you happy?
Happy.
Are you at peace?
Are you healthy?
Are you healthy, happy, and at peace, man? That's all that matters.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And plus, I'm getting older, man. When I look at it now, I'm like, dude, I got less years ahead of me than behind me.
Right.
That's and seeing my parents going down this decline of like every day, I don't know when the shoe's gonna drop. Like,
right.
Knowing that's all of our fate. Like that's where we're all going. I don't give a shit who you are. Like, I don't care what kind of ego you have. You were once a little drooling baby, and you will be a drooling old elderly person. Like you live long enough.
Yeah. Absolutely.
End of story.
Yeah.
Father Time is undefeated. We came from that. We go back to that, and I'm watching it. And it's just like, it's very humbling and in some ways humiliating, when I have to take my parents in public and I see how people look at us or something like that. But I know that it gave me an education in itself that we're all going to be there, dude. It doesn't matter who you think you are. Come from diapers, you'll go to diapers, man. Promise you that. And if you live long enough and
Carmine has something to do with it. Well, I promise you.
Saying it looks like God has a lot more to do with it than.
Well, he's sending me this stuff, but he needs delivery guys. I'm like the Pizza Hut, the Domino's pizza delivery guy, right?
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind living another 50, 100 years, but it would all depend. Like, do I outlive my family? Do I outlive people I know? If that's the case, who wants to live that long? I don't. I mean, I don't want to go when everyone else is like, you outlive your kids and shit. Fuck that. Like who wants to live like that? Like to me. No, I've lived, honestly, I'll be honest with you, dude. I've had a good life, bro. Like I've had a good life. I'm happy. It's been chaotic and crazy. I accomplished a lot. I had a lot of ups and downs, dude. I'm good, bro. Like whatever.
Do you think you'll still be podcasting in 10 years from now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think I'll be peaking in the next 5 to 10 years and then maybe go another 5, 10 after that. I don't know, bro.
If you can go back in the time capsule, right? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, what would be 5 things that you would change that you would do differently?
got it. I'd be a different person today. So I don't know if it was like destiny or not, but I would have never drank. I would have slowed my roll on that.
No cocaine.
No cocaine. I would have listened more to the people around me that were guiding my career, and I would have reined in the partying for sure, man. Like, yeah, but like I said, though, dude, like this is very important. I cannot stress this enough. The crash and burn had to happen for me to change. Like, it had to happen. Like, there was no coasting in uncomfortable misery for me. Like, that's when people don't change.
Right.
You're just kind of like in this, or I should say comfortable misery, when you're just kind of like, this is just what it is.
Sure.
I'm okay with this, nothing really drastic's happening in your life. Nothing's really jolting you to change. That, my friend, is the most fucking dangerous, because then you stay there, and then 5 years go by, 10 years go by, 20 years go by, and you're still there in the slime, and you don't understand. I crashed and burned. Boom! Nuclear bomb went off in my life. I had to get up and frantically find the pieces, or I was dead.
Yeah.
Like that to me is everything, because if a bomb didn't go off in my life, I would not have been jolted to change. I had to be jolted.
Absolutely.
So that's my story, man. A bomb went off in my life, and I had to pick up the fragmented pieces.
Yeah.
Like, that's really how that came about. Like, because otherwise I would have never changed, dude. And I know a lot of people that are in that situation. They're not in that situation, but are in like just comfortable misery, dude. And I'm like, you can't tell them anything. You cannot tell them anything. They have to get out. They have to hit a rock bottom themselves. And if they don't ever hit it, their rock bottom could be death.
Yeah.
So thank God mine wasn't death, but it was, like I always say to everybody, dude, rock bottom has a basement. I've been there.
Do you think we make it out of what we're in right now? At what cost? How many casualties? And will the normies short circuit?
Yeah, I think we're gonna make it, but there's gonna be more casualties to come. Yeah, because they're not gonna just wave a white flag and say, "Okay, we give up, we're done, we're gonna roll over." It's gonna get ugly. I hope we have Trump all the way to 2028, because that's how ugly it's gonna get. I think they're gonna really go all in to take him out. I think there's gonna be, something's gonna happen in the midterms, whether it's a delay or a pause. I don't know exactly. Juan says it will be. Steve Bannon sees a national security emergency. Okay, those guys know more than I do. But I think that's just going to be the beginning of the fight, dude. Like, that's not like, oh, we won, let's all celebrate. No.
We can go back to watching sports. Yeah, we can go back to watching sports and enjoying life a little bit, but we got to keep an eye on who's running shit. We can't, just be distracted like we were in the 90s and the 80s anymore. That's over.
That life's over, dude. That's way past gone.
Right.
That's gone. Like, I think I've never seen, now, did you ever, conspiracy theories, politics is mainstream now.
Sure.
That was never like that 5 years ago, 6 years ago. None of that that's why so many people got vaccinated, bro.
Correct.
They didn't know.
Correct.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
We did, because I've been on this since 9/11.
I've been on this for 43 years, dude. What technologies do you personally think that they are hiding from us? For example, like anti-gravitic flying machine, so that when I go to Vegas, I could just go into my garage, get into my freaking thing, and be there in like,
I think anti-gravitic machines are one thing, but I think it's also transporting. Like
teleportation.
Teleportation, dude. That's it.
They have it.
That's hell yeah, dude. That's what happened to the Malaysia Airlines. So you can't tell me, could have people in the 1800s ever fathomed an airport where you get on a plane and fly 500 miles an hour to another city? No, they couldn't fathom it. But you know what they can't, what we can't fathom now? Teleportation centers. Let's say you go somewhere and you go, you're gone. You just stand in line and you're gone. Like, you go through those scanners in the airport, except you're gone and you're in another place instantly. Another dimension instantly, if you want to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, med beds, the whole thing, it's all there, dude. It's all, whether it's alien technology or just technology that has been discovered that they just have not released yet, whatever, it's there. We know it's there. They're hiding it from us because they want to kill us off. They want it for themselves. That's
some of us are hard to kill, dude.
Yeah.
We're staying, bro. You and I are staying.
It's like a cockroach.
Iran had to happen, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, many podcasters, unfortunately, have turned, big podcasters, I may say, without mentioning any names, have turned on Donald Trump. It's a shame that they've done that. Do you think some of them are being paid off?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, you have Hunter Biden on your podcast, you're getting paid off. That's it. Sorry. But spoiler alert, you got Hunter Biden on your podcast. You got Hunter on your podcast. You're being paid off. Guess who doesn't have Hunter on his podcast? Me. Guess who I do have on my podcast? Judge Joe Brown, who has seen 3 of the laptops. Okay, that's who I have on my podcast.
I like the fact that they printed the laptops. You know that? There's books that are actually just printed.
Judge Joe Brown saw them all.
Yeah, yeah.
So
do you feel a nuclear exchange can happen at this point, Nino? Still.
Do I feel a nuclear exchange can happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But I don't know if it'll be
in our lifetime.
I think it's going to be I think it could be before 2030. I think that the way the world's heating up, they sure are itching to do this. And I think we're definitely going to come into a scare event. I don't know when. Could be after Trump's out of office. I don't know, but it looks like they're gung-ho about this, and they may be holding it back until Trump's out. I don't know. I think Trump definitely threw a monkey wrench into the globalist agenda, but I still think, I still believe the nuclear option is there.
Okay. I hope you're wrong. I believe we come to a Jesus moment. We'll get on our knees and pray. And I believe that we're going to scathe this one. And
I think that's what brings us to that moment.
Yeah. On earth as it is in heaven. Okay. We're going to bring heaven on earth. We're going to clean everything up 100,000% better than 3,000 years ago. Pristine. So when the reset happens, will Nino Rodriguez be podcasting while he's on the road in some big $3 million RV podcasting while you're visiting,
I'll always be podcasting. I'm taking my audience with me on my journey, dude, for sure, because they've been with me from the beginning. So I'll be taking them all the way. And whoever's joining on now, I welcome all of them, dude. It's like the life of Forrest Gump, dude. Like everyone can be a part of it.
Yeah,
I'm not hiding nothing from anybody, dude, at all. That's one thing about me. I will be transparent, especially in a world of AI and bullshit. People want transparency and they want authenticity.
That's why people love you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know any other way to be quite honest with you. And I don't know where I developed that. I don't know where I got that. I don't know. I never, ever put on a show for anybody. I mean, I was the kid in school that was like, why are you late? I don't know. I just didn't feel like coming to school. And then they go, you got to go to the office. I'm like, please, I love the principal. And they'd send me in there and I'd go hang out with the principal and like file papers for him. And then he'd be like, where are you going? I'm going to leave school. Why are you leaving school? Because I'm sick of school. I'm going to go home now.
Yeah.
Stop that kid. And I'd be like, I take off running. Like did not give a shit. I don't know why I was like that, but I was like that. I don't know.
Bro, we used to smoke so much weed when we were in high schole and take a couple of hits of mescaline and just go in and laugh at all the teachers. Wow. Yeah, and laugh at all the teachers like hysterically, like where your intestines are hurting and you're literally crying that hard. And then we would just cut school. If I had kids today, I don't think I would send them to school. I got to be honest.
No, you gotta. I think homeschool, man, if you can do it.
Absolutely.
But like, now I realize what schooling was all about. It was about putting you in the workforce.
Yeah.
Being a drone, being a slave to the system, and boy, I saw right through that shit at a very young age.
Yeah. What comes after Trump? Rubio, Eric Trump, or Vance? Or do you think Trump can actually stay as president in 2020?
What I'm expecting, bro, I'm expecting him to stay. I'm expecting him to stay about 2 years and then step down and hand it off to anyone other than Vance. I don't think it's going to be Vance. I think he's going to fucking throw a changeup, dude. I think we're going to, everything we need to see will be midterms, and then it's going to change the course of 28. And then at 28, I think it's going to be Trump in there still. And then he's going to step down and hand it off to, don't know. Yeah. I don't think it's JD because JD's in with Peter Thiel. I don't see it to be JD. I think JD's deep state. That's just my opinion. And Trump can talk about him in the highest regard, whatever. I just don't feel like he's the guy.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
What are the chances of Mel Carmine getting you to my Quantum Summit? We have several products that are coming out that I'm going to introduce you to. One is a parasite cleanse that actually kills all of the parasites completely, which means people will lose 30, 40, 50, 60, even 100 pounds rather quickly. The joint pain goes away. The fog goes away. Your pineal gland works better, all the stuff. Plus the guys from Japan with the rejuvenation product are going to be there as well. This is huge. Even though we can only fit about 250 people in the room, okay, we're going to be televised all over the world. We're going to literally make them. We're going to put Cape on the map. Towards the end of October, middle of November, the latest.
If it's middle of November, I could possibly make it. October, not sure. It might be in New York.
Because this product here that I'm talking about, that the lady rejuvenates, we need to get that product immediately as soon as we solidify the deal, which should be this week.
I'm open to it. Let's keep in touch. And listen, if it's around November, I could probably do it. So.
I want to publicize it way in advance, number one, and I want to get the product to your mom and dad. I want you to say Mel Carmine was guided by God And he was sent to me because my mom and dad are supposed to be here. I would love to see your mom and dad. I want to see my mom survive. My mom is still here on. My mom's here on freaking borrowed time, dude.
We all are, bro.
You ask Antonia, and she'll tell you. She says, "I'm here on bonus time." She goes, "I should be." She used to smoke like chain smoking, one after another. Okay, 85 years old. She's gonna be 85 October 1st.
Damn, God bless her, man.
Yeah, I know you're celebrating your birthday right when the summit's right near the summit.
I can't. Don't remind me, bro. September 18th. Holy shit, man, dude! Already.
Mine's one day before.
Why did you make me think of it? Oh gosh.
Mine's September 9th. Yours is the 18th. Tina Peters is the 11th. Okay, a bunch of Virgos in this.
I'm the last 49, bro. That's my last year's in my 40s, dude.
Brother. Enjoy it. Let me tell you, when I was up until about 55, I was really, really strong. I'm still strong, but I'm not. I need this product. Let me.
I'll tell you, I can't believe how fast it's going, bro. I'm sure
Nino's Corner.tv, Nino's Corner.tv, and Nino Rodriguez. He's a big superstar, and he happens to be a good friend of mine. Thank you, Nino, for coming.
You got it, Mel. Thank you.
A structure so deeply embedded, most of those inside it don't even realize what they are a part of. Institutions you trusted operating within a framework you were never meant to question. And while you worked, struggled to survive, something bigger was moving behind the curtain. In this documentary, we exposed the largest financial deception in the history of mankind. Not with options, but with evidence. Irrefutable, irrevocable, undeniable. This is not about politics. This is about power. This is about control. And most importantly, this is about you. Because the moment you truly see it, the illusion collapses. The distractions lose its grip. The noise disappears, and the question becomes unavoidable. When this film is released, the truth will no longer be hidden. It will be undeniable, uncontainable, unstoppable. My job is to expose it. Your job is to make sure the world sees it. Now, will you have the courage to face it, to share it, to break free from the system that was designed to keep you enslaved forever? Or will you ignore the greatest revolution of our time? The truth is here. You will either stand up and help us dismantle the Matrix, or the Matrix will enslave you and your family for 1,000 years to come. The choice is yours. God knows I did my job.